How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Travis' Sports Show. I'm joined by Brock again today. We were talking about the Eagles Patriots Week 2 of the preseason game last night at the Link Financial Field. And Brock, man, that was a horrendous performance, no doubt about it. Just all around, top to bottom. I mean, man, started right away with number 7 going to the field instead of Jalen Hurts. We'll get into that obviously a little bit, but started there. Hurts not suiting up and playing, and then bad snap from Herbig, and just from there, just dominoes, offense, defense, just god awful. Man, not much else to say.
Yeah, mistakes really from the beginning there. I mean, not seeing Jalen take the field and then Herbig with the snap. Everything kind of just piled on. And as for Eagles fans everywhere, including us, it was very uneventful night to watch the game. I feel bad for the people that paid those tickets to watch that because it was really the Patriots show and not any of the Eagles showing up.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned me texting yesterday during the game on FaceTime that you were offered tickets, but some drastic money there that I would not pay for. You said.
Yeah, I'm very glad that I did not take those tickets. I love the guy that offered them to me, but if I did take them for that amount of money, I would be very upset today.
Yeah, I just feel bad for him, man. Like it was a packed house, but almost probably like sold out too. Like, and you mentioned like normally preseason games, a lot of people like families, young kids go because seems like holders kind of sell their tickets for these games and stuff. It's got nothing to watch. It's kind of disappointing. I went back 2017 preseason game, Eagles Dolphins. It was a cool game because like it was week 3 of the preseason, so it was dress rehearsal and like starters, Wentz and all them guys played like a full half, so it was a nice game to go to. But man, that was bad. I mean, watching it, can't imagine being there. But we'll get into it now. Obviously, Jalen Hurts situation, really, really fishy, kind of weird situation. I mean, speculate too much, but man, obviously we see the videos from out there, hour before the game, full warm ups, him, the whole offense in full pads, getting loose, everything ready to go. Then all of a sudden comes out there and goes to the ball first. I'm like, all right, let's go. One toss receiving again. Then I'm see number 7. I'm like, damn. Like I was pumped for this game, thought he might play a little bit. See Devontae out there with Jalen, everybody, whole offense. See Flacco kind of just lower the mood a lot there. And then obviously after the game, we get word finally. Sirianni says, or we get during the game, it's an illness, this, that. And then Sirianni says after the game that stomach infection supposedly came to the stadium, telling him that his stomach was kind of bothering him. We wanted to go through warm-ups, and then they said he wanted to play still, but so the best answer is to hold him out. But then supposedly he goes to the hospital with a stomach infection. Like, I don't know. And then they say he's okay, but like, it's weird, really weird, in my opinion. It's really fishy.
Yeah, you summed it up as best as we probably could. We talked last night during the game, but yeah, from my standpoint, watching, I'm really excited. You know, Devontae's making his debut in the preseason, sort of say. Jalen playing a lot of the starters. We saw Miles Sanders was going to play. So
Yeah.
I was really excited. And, you know, the camera switched to the offensive huddle, and I saw Joe Flacco run on the field. So then I told you last night, I was like, Nick, what are we doing here? You know, I understand about the competition, but this is a little too much. And then we're wondering, everyone's like, where's Jalen Hurts? Why is he starting? We see the reports. It's an illness. But like you said, we saw the guy dancing. He was dancing 10 minutes before kickoff. He was dancing when Jalen Reagor took the field to return the opening kickoff. So it was very fishy. I mean, I can't deny the reports because he did go to the hospital. They said it was a stomach infection. A couple days at his house, he'll recover. So that is a good thing. Thank God it's not COVID related,
Yeah,
but
a
it's
little bit.
just a stomach infection. Um, Besides that, I mean, it's a weird situation to be put in. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen more articles. I already have seen today that Nick Foles should be signed. No,
Yeah,
Nick
so
Foles
that
should not be signed. We do not
WIP question of the
yeah,
day this morning. I was like, oh my god.
like
Marcus Lee wrote an article. Like,
I understand it. Joe Flacco played terrible last night. I get it. But you know what? Joe Flacco isn't going to play if Jalen Hurts doesn't struggle or get hurt.
nope.
We don't need Nick Foles. Okay, guys? He's not coming back. Joe Flacco will stand his ground when we need him to. And you know what? We only need him one more game because Jalen's going to play the whole year. We're going to be fine. We don't need Nick Foles. As far as the Jalen situation goes, hopefully he recovers. We got one last week of preseason practice, sort of say. We're going to be a joint practice again with the Jets. Then we'll face the Jets, and then it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks of straight preparation before we travel to Atlanta. And I guarantee you, Jalen Hurts will be taking the first snap for the Eagles.
Oh, definitely, for sure. More on some Jalen Hurts here. Like I watched some shows today on YouTube this morning. Some guys saying like Sirianni's kind of weird. Like I know he's probably deep into the game, thinking after the game, but like he really didn't seem too sure about his starting quarterback. Like, oh, he went to the hospital, but I don't know if he's here or went home. It's like what happened? I don't know. But like you mentioned, Flacco, like yeah, he won't be in there, but also he won't be in there without 3/5 of the offensive line not playing. I want to talk about that right now. Look, I think it's really fishy that too. Like I mentioned, we had all the whole offensive line with Hurts warming up. Kelsey, Brooks, Lane. They go into the locker room. I guess when they hear Jalen's not playing, so Lane he got told he's not playing either. My opinion, that's like really weird also because, like yeah, the whole starters play and then just not play an offensive line. Like it just makes Flacco's job even tougher. It gets told right before the game he's starting. And they go out there with no Jason Kelsey, Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson, then the first snap over his head and tough first half for him. I mean, we already saw last year, obviously, Carson Wentz, any quarterback will struggle with bad offensive line. Now having 3 guys out. I have a theory. No one said it yet, but I thought of it today. Like maybe what if they thought they had a full offense out there, starters with Flacco, and say Flacco like tore up out there, did great, then there'd be a more competition with like, oh, Flacco should be the starter, this, that, he did great with his whole offensive line and receivers, everything. So maybe like, oh, well, if Hurts not going to play today, just you guys don't play either. Oh, and then Flacco just doesn't do any good. I don't know, but
I mean, I'm not going to argue with your theory because, you know, from a PR standpoint and question standpoint, if he did tear it up, I'm sure the rumors are going to be here today. I do think it's different. I do, especially watching Sirianni's press conference, you know, that he thought those 3 on the right side were experienced enough. They didn't need to work. Honestly, I don't see the difference, though, because, like, you could play those 2 or those 2 series because it's not going to hurt them.
yeah.
Like, I get it. If one of them were hurt, then you say, okay, maybe we shouldn't play Jalen. Maybe he'll take a couple more hits.
Yeah.
Those guys are doing the same thing. So I get it. They're veterans. They're experienced. Maybe they don't need to work. Maybe they don't. Anyway, it's definitely a little bit different since once Jalen was out, they're out. I mean, if Jalen got out, might as well take Miles, Isaac, Jordan, Lane, Jason, everybody else, and just let the wide receivers play. But they didn't do that. But basically, they did do that because me and you were talking, Trav. Before you knew it, Herbig was our center. Toth was our left tackle. Driscoll was our right tackle. Everybody was just
subbed out there.
Yeah, everybody was subbed out. So
yeah, just Sirianni, the way he's done kind of who's played and who's not is kind of weird all around offense, defense. I mean, last night I think it was 10, 11 guys, not including Jake Elliott, not out there. We'll get to the offense, defense a little bit too, like both sides, the rest of the guys out there. But obviously, like there was no whole defensive line didn't play, then Slide didn't play, but they had the linebackers play a lot in this game. Really weird how they asked Singleton about it. He said, well, he has no control whether he's playing or not. He wants to play, obviously, but he was getting beat up out there, tired, making a lot of tackles, but winded. Asked him to come out of the game, took him a couple plays, finally bring out, I think it was Edwards, come out in the game. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be something later in the show we talk about offense and defense, because I saw a lot of reports and a lot of people that strictly just watch for observations, and we preached it after last week on the show that it's plain. It's very bland. It is very bland on both sides of the ball. So I hope JG and Sirianni got a special weapon, because the offense does look different already. But if they're not showing anything, I honestly cannot wait to what it is going to look like week 1 in Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. I was hearing talk the Birds on the Eye in the Sky podcast. Ruben Frank, Dave Zangaro, they're saying like reps are really good because Joe Flacco said yesterday, like games and practices are much different. Like practice out the game, and like especially Jalen Hurts, he needs some more reps because like practice there's no live tackle and other than that, so he can't show his full skill set in the practices, and that's part of his game, a huge part of his game. But we'll see that week 1, obviously. much different offense there. I guess we'll get to the full offense now. I guess look, it just didn't score a point, haven't scored a point in the last 6 quarters, and it's never good. Like no matter who you're playing, ones versus twos, ones threes, threes. Got to try and move the ball and score. And it was tough. Obviously, you mentioned Flacco, tough offensive line out there, but he's pretty inaccurate. Some drops too. Richard Rodgers playing out there, a couple drops. Talk about Devontae here right now. What do you think of his debut here? I thought he was up and down, a little antsy at first, a couple drops there, but also a couple bad late timing kind of with Flacco there, but got a couple of catches late in the first half there under his belt. That's good to see. But obviously, my big takeaway is a great route runner. You saw that.
Yeah, I'm right around the same point as you. I definitely think it was antsy. I think definitely from a game plan standpoint, I don't know who was relaying it. We were definitely trying to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
Let's say that. I'm gonna credit him with only one drop because that one drop you could be the first one technically. I'm not gonna lie to you though. We talked about it last night. He made a great route, ran a great route, was wide open. And if Flacco threw it earlier, it's probably going to be a first down. Yep. When he did throw it, it was way out ahead. Devontae actually had to come back to the football with a corner right on his back. I mean, that's a hard catch. Yeah, probably should have had it.
Would have been tackled.
It's also his first game. The second one, that is behind him. Didn't get his head turned around quick enough. And another thing is, how many times has Joe Flacco thrown the ball to Devontae Smith in practice? So that's definitely something else. But like you said, you hit it right on the head. He is a fantastic route runner. Guys, we've seen him every play last night. He made a great move off the line of scrimmage, and he had 3 steps on some guys. Like, he's not that speed guy. He's not going to be the one to blow right by him, but he is going to get open. And I'm really excited now watching his route running last night against some solid corners. You're talking about J.C. Jackson, who's a top corner. Saw all week. Quez smoked him. But that's still, like, we saw a lot of great route running in the guy's first actual game, contact. And I'm really excited for that. Offensively, like you said, Trav, it was bland. It was very bland. Joe had 3 missing offensive linemen by the second series. I think none of them were out there. Offensively, I got two good points though. Is Miles Sanders, 2 carries, 13 yards. The first one was a big carry. You know, if he can run like that and with a full offensive line, our starting line, and Jalen in the backfield, that's going to open up so many different run options. Kenny Gainwell, really good game last night. He had a couple receptions, ran the ball pretty solid for not being your typical running back. Very, very excited about him. I will tell you what, though, wide receivers, I mean, we talked about it last night. Quez, Devontae, and Jalen Reagor played. They were the only wide receivers really till halftime. Like, Travis Fulgham, a guy I was really high on, is just not there right now. John Hightower's not there. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's not there. Like, we got to see some more of that. Or, it's going to be some big questions when it gets down to cut day.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like they're kind of all really falling, especially Greg Ward, Hightower, and Fulgham. So Whiteside, a couple good days in practice, but obviously you said we want to get Watkins, Reagor, and Smith a lot of work out there in the first half. They got a couple of targets, obviously Smith, a couple to Reagor. I don't think none to Hurts, none to Watkins. They're trying now, but those guys didn't get much action there in the second half. Not much targets. They need more reps and experience out there, them guys. But and obviously second half after Flacco went out, just I mentioned she had a 2-minute drive there in the first half, and that was just brutal. He took a sack, clock ran down and threw a pick. It's bad there. Then Mullins, obviously another rough night from Nick Mullins there, and 3rd stringers, 4th stringers, whatever guys never heard of. But
I will tell you guys, fellow Eagles fans right here, I would not expect anything special against the Jets. I mean, typically, we talked about it last week on the show. Like, this was our week 3 preseason game, since there's only 3 this year. The Jets game, I mean, you're going to see a lot in these joint practices because we talked talked about it right before we came on today, that it feels like this coaching staff really values the joint practices. They take that as game reps. Travis had a great point, though. Jalen Hurts and the quarterbacks aren't getting live tackled. Everybody else is. But it seems like this coaching staff's really taking the joint practice as scrimmage-like things. I have no problem with that. But for a fan standpoint, week 3 of the preseason gets the Jets. I expect to see the guys that are fighting for a roster spot.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Travis Fulgham, Greg Ward even, John Hightower. These are the guys that are going to be playing a lot because that cut down day is right after this week coming, this next week. I mean, that's going to be a day where they have to write down and be like, all right, this guy he just doesn't got it this year, you know? So, I mean, I would not get your hopes up for week 3 of the preseason. I just want to say that. I think it'll be even more bland. You might see some bigger plays because guys are trying to make a statement, but do not expect to see anything special.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it seemed like last night, Sirianni did not seem so certain about playing Hurts. They asked him, I think he's like done enough or we're not to be ready for week 1. It seemed like he was like, yeah, I'll get more work in joint practices, which I said you evaluate a ton, but it didn't seem like he was really intended to play Hurts a week from today. As of now, obviously could change. All discussions are next week, but yeah, not seem like he's gonna play Hurts. But I guess we'll touch on defense a little bit right now. Obviously, our first team defense didn't really play the linemen and slaying everybody. So the linebackers, the only ones that played, like I mentioned. But yeah, so they didn't play top D linemen. But we can mention watching the game, like those guys go down, like these second and third guys have been brutal, man. Our tackling has been bad. Our run game and defense has been just pathetic out there. Fucking Patriots running up and down the field, man.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last night. The linebackers, hey guys, thanks for showing up. Really appreciate it because if you didn't, we probably would have given up 70 points. Another guy that I want to credit too is Anthony Harris. He made another great break on a play where he hit the guy and that prevented a catch. Like last night, there wasn't much to see. I know we talked before the show, you're going to mention some players, but for me, linebackers and Anthony Harris, because our corners, they didn't throw it a lot, but I hate to say it because I was also big on him in the preseason or in the draft. Zach McPherson, he struggled last night. You just got to admit it. Now, I'm not going to blame it all on him because a couple of those passes, Cam Newton had about 18 minutes in the pocket to throw it. Yeah. That's another thing. We had no rush. No. Like you said, no run game. I could have ran for 100 yards last night. That's saying something.
It made Cam Newton and Mac Jones look like studs, man. Like Cam back in his prime. Mac Jones looking like, which he could be the real deal, but I mean.
Yeah, like it's making Mac's life 100 times easier because the guy's trying to fight for a starting position, and he's looking like an all-star. That's why I saw a Patriots tweet this morning. You'll get a laugh out of this one. He said, it's hard to judge Mac Jones in Alabama because of his weapons, how much they had the ball, their conference. And then he goes on to say, it's also hard to judge him against the Eagles' second team and third team defense. And he's correct. Yeah. I mean, our defense had no pressure on them. They had the linebackers saved the game. If we won the game, it was on the linebackers.
Yeah.
We weren't going to win the game. So big props to TJ Edwards, Alex Singleton, the linebackers, Anthony Harris, Zach McPherson. It's a learning stage. He's going to learn. Defensive line, though, second team, third string, like you said, Trav, we're in trouble if we get hurt. We are in trouble. Oh, yeah. I mean, I will point out, too, I have, for defensive line-wise, second stringers, we're not seeing them because you still got to remember Derek Barnett and Josh Sweat are fighting for position. One of them are going to be classified as a second stringer, obviously. Then we got the guy that we signed in the offseason, Ryan Kerrigan. Unfortunately, he's been hurt. He's a veteran. He's not going to play in the preseason right now. That's our other second stringer. So second string D-line, I mean, we're seeing a lot of guys that are just sitting out because they're veterans, small injuries here and there. So that's not a problem. Corners, though, McPherson's got to pick it up because really he's the third outside corner. Avonte Maddox is our slot. Darius and Steven are on the outside. Zach McPherson is our third outside corner. So that's something that we got to figure out here quick, get him some work. And like you said, too, Sirianni wasn't up and at it about Jalen playing. I really think after the Jets game, those 2 weeks are straight. One's going to be getting the stuff together. And then obviously that's going to be the week right after. That'll be the first week of September is going to be the prep, getting everything, the offense and everything. And then the second week of September leading up to Sunday is going to be prep, game prep. How are we going to attack this? What plays are going to work? So I'm not nervous quite yet, but it might be here soon.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going to get to right here. Like, what it kind of means going forward. Like, 35-zip, getting shut out, beat down, your home ballpark, home stadium does not feel good at all in preseason or regular season playoffs, whatnot. But I mean, like I said, I'm not that nervous either. It's never good, but it's still preseason, and it's a lot of our 2s, 3s, whatnot. I was pumped to see Jalen Hurts, and pumped to see Jalen Hurts. He didn't play, so I mean, when he plays week 1, full offensive line, all the starters should be much, much better and smoother out there. Defense, obviously, you haven't seen the first team defense a whole yet at all in the field, any game. So, yeah, while it sucks, I'm sorry for the people that went to the game. It sucks people watching the game. I saw Merrill Reese, a couple clips on the radio today. They were playing this morning. He was saying, like, it's like it's 2-minute warning now. It's 2 more minutes of this nightmare going on here. He's making all these jokes watching the game and stuff for calling the game. But at the end of the day, I'm still feel pretty fine. They had a good week. Coach joint practice versus Patriots. They got won in both those days, so they won probably where it really mattered, ones versus ones. So yeah, I mean, just got to keep this week versus Jets.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it'll be very interesting to see the updates this week against the Jets. Unfortunately for them, they lost their starting D lineman Carl Lawson. Yeah, and let's see what the first team defense is going to present Zach Wilson with. So you got to think, Mac's not taking all the first team reps. Now they're going to face this week a second overall pick in Zach Wilson. Let's see what they provide with him, like this Jets offense. This Jets offense upgraded in some positions. Like these corners are going to get some work with these wide receivers. They got some wide receivers over there. Corey Davis. They got the guy out of Ole Miss, the rookie. Like they're going to be presented with a decent challenge. So the first team defense, hey, this is my big takeaway. First team defense and first team offense is winning in joint practices against another team's ones. I'm okay with it because you said it. We have not seen the whole first team starting defense together on the same field at once. We haven't. So if they're winning in practice, I'm okay with that because they're facing the other team's ones too.
Yeah. It's all about all we got. I'm going to touch base on some injury here before we finish it off. Obviously, Jake Elliott, kicker, did not kick yesterday. A little day-to-day with ankle injury. A couple other guys. Obviously, Diller was still week to week. I heard he should be back maybe this week in practice. See what happens there. Then our tight end room. Obviously, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz can be relied heavy upon him. Along with Richard Rodgers, there was 3 guys because Jason Kroom went out yesterday with a tough knee injury. Could be season ending. I saw from Rappaport. And obviously, a couple days ago, Tyree Jackson, the quarterback turned tight end, had a really good camp so far, out with back injury for 6 to 8 weeks. So they'll hit their tight end room. So
yeah, I mean, you can see Tyree Jackson on the short side of 6 weeks. You'll see him week 4, week 5-ish. Jason Kroom, unfortunately, yeah, I saw the same thing you saw from Rappaport. Looks like he's done for the year. Probably some with the ACL. That's hard to see. But, yeah, like you said, Richard Rodgers, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. I mean, those are your 3 tight ends, and they are going to be relied very big on, especially with sometimes Sirianni wants to run the 2 tight end sets. Like, it's going to be Goddard and Ertz, and Richard Rodgers is the backup. So, I mean, and Jake Elliott's injury didn't see – I mean, we saw the video of him walking with Landon Dickerson into the stadium. Didn't seem like much. Probably precautionary. I mean, if it is a foot injury, obviously you don't want him kicking. So we'll see what he does if he's back in practice. But I'm not too worried about that right now. We couldn't have been worse than the Patriots kicker last night. So
Oh, yeah. He might as well just not have showed up to the field, dude.
yeah.
Nowhere even close on those kicks.
Nope. But yeah, that's all I got for
So
us
like
today.
Dickerson's outfit there.
Yeah,
Overalls.
good old country boy from Alabama. What do you guys think about that one?
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's a big upgrade. Like when we get him back, like you guys got to put in a picture too. I mean, Herbig is not a center. He's not.
No.
Like we saw him really excel last year at guard. Dickerson played center, played guard. Like you're talking, and Driscoll, he played very good last year too. Like you guys are talking about, we're saying like we have a solid 3 backup offensive linemen, like Dickerson, Driscoll, and Herbig. Like those guys are good if
Yeah.
somebody does go down. So I'm not mad about the backup offensive lineman really.
No, me neither. That's about all we got today. I'll wrap it up here. Obviously, rough one last night. 35-zip shutout. But again, it's preseason, so a lot of positives to take forward. Team haven't seen the first teams at all, really the full guys much. So see what happens next week with the Jets going forward and joint practice in the game next Friday. Touch base with you guys next week. Till then, let's go Birds and stay positive a little bit. Week 1's coming, September 12th. The full team ready to go, and I'm still pretty darn pumped up for it, right, Brock?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. That's all we got today. I'm Travis. He's Brock. We're signing out. Let's go Birds.
Go Birds.